Welcome to Inside the Cardinal Playbook, brought to you by the UPS store at 5510 Northeast Antioch in North Kansas City. Dustin Combs joins us first, the Jewel softball coach, and it's been a wonderful ride for you guys here in the last week. Winners of 8 straight, and I believe it's 10 out of 12 now. What's turned things around for you guys?
Well, I think just getting some consistency, being able to get on the field on a regular basis, and things are starting to click. The girls are starting to get comfortable and having fun. I mean, that's the main thing. I've just tried to get out of their way on game day and let them play.
Does the weather, the change in the weather, I mean, to a positive thing, really help with that consistency?
Well, I think it helps their mentality, you know, that they finally get to be outside and in a sport that you should be outside and not stuck in a gym hitting or trying to get better defensively. So yeah, it just changes their mentality, and they're having much more fun when they can be outside and play the sport they love. And I really think that's a lot of why we finally got things clicking. They just really love being at practice even, and that's a good thing.
Well, let's go through this because it's been so amazing. A doubleheader sweep of Rockhurst, and you win both games in 5 innings, which I think probably surprised you as much as anybody. Then a non-conference sweep of Southwest Baptist. You come back to the weekend and you sweep both the University of Illinois Springfield and Quincy. And in each of those doubleheaders, your batting average as a team has continued to increase 5-7 points per doubleheader. That's pretty unusual this time of year.
Yeah, this time of year, you know, with as many at-bats as we have as a team, it's pretty hard to move your batting average one way or the other. So yeah, I noticed that too, looking at the stats last night, and you know, that was one thing that I thought we were capable of doing from the very beginning, is putting runs on the board. And you know, it just makes things life so much easier when your pitchers can actually make a mistake and we can still you know, give them the run support they need. We're playing so well defensively. There's really so many players. Eileen Greenwood up the middle, Brittany Madsen. Actually, all of our middle has been very strong, with Ashley Barrett in center field, and you know, we've played well in the corners as well. We've just really got the confidence we need to play right now, and you know, everything's clicking.
I'm going to throw one more thing in there defensively. I think your pitchers field their position really well. Of course, you have Faith Song, who is an infielder and played second base a lot last year, but Hayden is a good fielder. Really, they all are.
Well, yeah, and they're just athletes. You know, they just, their athleticism takes over, and they've been on a softball field long enough that you know, that really has been something that we've always done pretty well, is field well from the pitching position, and we have to. There's so many balls coming up the middle that, and sometimes they know to get their glove out of the way. With they don't want to deflect the ball and take it off track, because they do know that our middle infielders can make plays. So there's a time when they know they should make the play, and there's a lot of times you'll see them actually move their glove out of the way of a ball, and afraid that they might deflect it and change the direction of the ball.
Go up and down your lineup and you take a look at some of the young ladies that have really contributed this year. A lot of them are junior college transfers. Can you talk about your philosophy in bringing in those JUCO players?
Well, they've got to be the right kid. You know, we have such a strong belief in our philosophy and believing in what we stand for, and it has to be a kid that will buy into that. And if they don't, if they won't, then they won't be the right fit.
Can you talk about what that philosophy is?
Sure. Just, you know, we look at our program as a way for girls to, one, get an education, but also to grow as a person. And we have a little bit of a quote that we use, and it's not what you become as a softball player that's most important. It's what you become as a person. And we have covenants, selflessness, class, integrity, and discipline. And we use those covenants all the time in what we stand for and how we recruit. And we're very selective about those kids that we want in our program, because if they don't believe in what we're going to talk about every day, then they're just not going to be happy.
I want to get back to your doubleheader sweeps here in a moment, but let's talk about the young ladies in the circle that have done such a good job. You've been relying basically on 3, Rachel Hayden, Faith Song, and also Corinne Fry. Will you talk about, first of all, Song, because she's so versatile in so many ways?
Yeah, you know, Faith, a sophomore and a captain chosen by her teammates. she's just such a great competitor, and when she knows she's going to get the ball, she gives me a lot of confidence in what kind of performance we're going to get. She's very positive. She is one of the strongest competitors I've ever coached. She has a will to win that's like no other. Rachel Hayden as well has come in and this week had a strong showing, and we managed to get her through this week. She's got an appointment this morning that we hope we can continue to get some progress on healing her. But she had really two strong days this weekend, and really I don't know how many hits she gave up, but seemed to really have control of the game from actually after the first inning of
both in her start and in her relief appearance.
And we've maybe not defined Corinne's role as coming out of the bullpen right now, but this week that's what her role was, and that's the thing that with our program is a role can change every day.
Sure.
And I think a lot of times when a kid thinks a role player, they think that only means coming off the bench, and that's not necessarily the truth. Everybody has a role, even starters. So Corinne coming off out of the bullpen's been good for her, and we've had leads, and she's kept us in there with the lead, and maybe didn't get the save, but really she did come in and do what a relief pitcher should do, and that's keep you there.
Right. And it's kind of amazing to me, it seems like Faith has been the kind of the veteran that's on the field, yet she, of those three, is the youngest as a sophomore, so that's interesting. Now to those doubleheader sweeps. First of all, there were 2 games against Rockhurst. Surprise you? I would imagine it did, that you won them both in 5, especially with an 11-run first inning in the first game.
Yeah, the 11 runs in the first inning was a surprise. That's really what got our week kicked off right. Well,
then why don't we do that all the time?
Yeah, I'd take 11 runs in a game, let alone in one inning. Our girls were so ready for that game. They were really looking forward to playing at home, but also who we would consider a rival, being in the conference and so close. And a lot of our girls know some of their girls, and I don't think it was definitely one of those games I just got out of the way, and they played, and I don't say much after the game starts. They really manage themselves, at least with what they need to do to get runs and compete. I can't say that I was surprised with the wins, but certainly surprised with the amount of runs we put up on pitchers who had really good years up to that day. So. I think just our enthusiasm and intensity that day was a big reason we came out on top. Both games really in dominating fashion.
Yes. Illinois Springfield came in on Saturday, and again in GLVC play resuming, followed by Quincy on Sunday. And let's kind of lump them together and go to the Quincy game, the second game, when it looked like through the first 3 innings you were being dominated by Macias. She struck out 8 in the first 3 innings, then a home run turned things around in the second game.
Yeah, Macias is very tough, and she had thrown, I think, most of the doubleheader the day before.
Yeah, 12 innings in the 13.
Yeah, we knew she was going to be a little bit tired, but we knew we'd see her as well, and she is tough. And we finally made some adjustments, and whenever Brittany had the big hit, I think it took the momentum. They were still ahead, but I think she realized this team can hit, and then we just continued to make adjustments, and other girls came up with big hits, and we got base runners on and got them in.
The rally in Game 2 of Sunday's doubleheader is the 8th win in a row for the Cardinals. Now they've won 10 out of their last 12. Second place in the GLVC West, and that's a tight group. You can't really afford to slip up much.
No.
Everybody, though, chasing UMSL that's way ahead.
Yeah, and really, at one point it looked like UMSL was running away with it, and Drury swept them yesterday. So proved that they can be beat, obviously, and this next 2 days, if weather permits, we'll get Missouri S&T and Drury Wednesday, and it's going to be another big 4-game series, and you cannot slip up.
Dustin Combs has been our guest here inside the Cardinal Playbook. Thank you, Dustin.
Thank you.
And boy, it's been a lot of fun.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more in a moment inside the Cardinal Playbook.
I'm going to change the world. I've got computers, I've got financing, I've got clients. I've got a business plan. I have VC money. I've got a game-changing idea. I've given myself room to grow. We're dangerous. Very dangerous. This is only the beginning. I'm going to own the future. There's just one problem. I don't know how to print this.
Professional printing,
Help?
and everything else a small business needs. Now at the UPS Store.
I love logistics.
Three! And hit well by Chennai and gone by Chennai. 1-0 pitch to her. That's hit pretty well. It's 6-0. Swung on, missed. Ball game over. The Cardinals sweep Rockers in 5 innings in both games. What a day for the Cardinals.
Welcome back inside the Cardinal Playbook. Mike Stockton joins us now to talk about Jewel Baseball and on the road this weekend against Quincy. The sweep by Quincy on Saturday. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, Saturday we played, we had one bad inning basically on the day, and I felt like that one inning propelled them into, 2 wins. We just never really recovered from the second inning of the ball game.
Yeah.
And it was unearned runs and mistakes and things that we had in our control, and we just didn't, and they absolutely capitalized. And there's a reason they're leading the conference right now. I mean, they're a good baseball team. There's no question about it. I give them a lot of credit. First day they pitched extremely well, and 1 through 9 they have as tough a lineup as we've faced all year long.
Who was the starting pitcher in that first game?
Game number 1 was Preston Felgate.
Okay.
And, statistically, maybe he didn't do that well, but when you peel back the layers of how well he competed and gave us a chance, and if we would have played better behind him and hit a little bit, overall, it wasn't a bad performance for him.
Right. He's been, in some games, kind of your setup guy, in some cases maybe the closer. What led you to start him in this game?
Well, we had the midweek game versus Rockhurst on Tuesday, and so we couldn't pitch Drew and David, who are typically our 1 and 2, on Saturday, because I felt like if we pushed them back to Sunday, that would give them an extra days off to rest and recover, so we needed to find another starter. And so we decided to go with Preston. His numbers are good. He's pitched well out of the bullpen for us, and I mean he has started before. He started last year as a freshman, so we thought we'd give him a chance to see what he could do.
How about in game 2? Who was your starter there?
Game 2 was Billy Kirkpatrick, and I pulled the leash on him pretty quickly, and it wasn't that he was not on his game, but they are a high-powered offense, and they essentially spotted us 5 runs. We were up 5-0 in game 2 in the first inning. They had a bunch of miscues and mishandled the ball in the outfield, and so we were up 5-0. And after the first 2 innings, they had 8 hits off of Billy and had already scratched across 3 runs, and we had a chance to put Cody Downing in the game with the lead, and Cody's one of our best, and I really trust Cody, and he's been a good player for us, and so I tried to get him the ball with the lead, and they just scratched across some runs, and our offense just shut down. We didn't score a run the rest of the game after first inning 5 runs. And so that was frustrating that we didn't score another run after that and give Cody some support, because Cody came in and pitched extremely well, I thought.
Yeah, he's kind of been snake bitten a little bit that way, hasn't he? As well as some of your other pitchers.
Yeah, Cody and David have been snake bitten, I feel like.
Yeah.
But it's part of the game, That's why baseball's not an easy game, and you have to be tough to play it. And you've heard this for the last 100 years, baseball's a game of failure. Yeah. And how do you respond to failure is what really sets good clubs apart from bad clubs.
Well, how you responded to the failure of 2 games on Saturday seemed to be pretty good. The doubleheader sweep, you come back and knock off Quincy twice on Sunday. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, they were great ball games. David Collins threw game 1, gave up 2 earned runs, he pitched well. And it was good to see us support David offensively because we've been needing to do that for him. And in Game 2, Drew Matrician didn't have his best stuff, but Drew competes so hard. And he gave us 8 innings, and then Ron Johnson got the save in the ninth.
We're good to see Ron come back.
Yeah, absolutely. Ron's been hurt for the last month or so, and he's healthy again, and we're hoping Ron can step up and be that closer for us at the end of the ball game. But I just have to give all the credit to the guys. I wish I knew what happened, but they came out Sunday and were ready to play baseball hard. They played with a lot of passion and enthusiasm and hustle and did a lot of the little things, and I just give them a lot of credit for having a rough day on Saturday and being able to respond and bounce back on Sunday.
Well, let's talk a little bit about David Collins because, again, he's been one of your mainstays and a very good competitor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's great. I mean, if I had a team full of Davids, we might not lose a game. So his luck has been just really bad all year long, and he deserved that. So I was happy to see David. David's so even keel. He can be pitching great and you wouldn't know it, and we could be playing poorly behind him and you wouldn't know it. And that's what I appreciate about David, is that he's such a team guy and he's a good competitor, and he always keeps us in the ball game and gives us a chance to win. And finally, we stepped up for David and got him the result that he deserved.
Drew Matrician has been a kind of a multi-faceted player for you. Did he play any defense for you this weekend?
No, he didn't. He didn't play in the field at all. Didn't get a hit or a pinch hit or anything like that. We just felt like we wanted to rest him. We've been using him a lot, and his pitch counts have really been extended. And I just wanted him to be able to focus on pitching this weekend.
How about offensively? Over the course of the 4-game weekend, anybody stand out for you?
Well, what happened on Sunday was that the top of our lineup showed up. I mean, Tom Herrera has now been moved to the leadoff spot. He was hitting middle in the order, and Tom did a great job. Really all weekend I felt like of getting on base. He stole some bases. He hit a crucial double to get himself in a scoring position late in the game. He was a good table setter for us. And Brian Rezende had an outstanding weekend of baseball.
Where's he hitting now?
He's hitting 2-hole. And I think, he had 6 or 7 RBIs, 6 or 7 hits.
Kind of been waiting for that from him, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. That's in him. He can do that. And I just think, he got comfortable, and we've been working with him, and we've been getting on our guys pretty good in practice, getting them to focus. And, Brian is a good player, and it was only a matter of time before he broke out.
Right. What do you got coming up here in the next several days?
Wednesday, we're supposed to play Northwest Missouri State at their place, and that was originally a 1 9-inning game, and we've changed it to a doubleheader just because of some of the rainouts we've had lately. But we're hopeful to get that game in. The weather's looking like it might rain on us, but we're going to play them. And then this weekend, we travel to St. Louis and play University of Missouri St. Louis at their place, and we're looking forward to that.
Mike, thank you for stopping in and visiting with us on Inside the Cardinal Playbook. When we come back, we'll have more. Inside the Cardinal Playbook is sponsored by the UPS Store, 5510 Northeast Antioch in North Kansas City.
So, I'm my own man. I can work from home. I can make meetings, I can make deadlines, I can make proposals, I can remember birthdays, I can entertain clients, I can pay for lunch. Yeah, I can do it 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 3:15. I can do anything. Done. On it. Yes. Taken care of. 50 two-sided bound color presentations by tomorrow. I can do that. How do I do that? I love logistics.
Poor Boy Oil Company is and always has been locally owned and operated. We promise convenience and service with small town values. We want you to choose Poor Boy again and again, whether you're looking for a hot cup of coffee to help start your day, grabbing lunch at midday, picking up milk at the end of the day, or heading for a Cardinal game any day. We're here to help you get you on your way quickly. Most stores are open 24 hours, so we're here when you need us. Poor Boy Oil Company. Find us around the Northland, wherever the Cardinals fly.
Inside the Cardinal Playbook resumes, and joining us is head men's and women's soccer coach Jefferson Robley. It seems maybe a little bit weird to talk about soccer in the spring, but you're busy in the spring. Can you tell us what the men's and women's soccer teams are up to here?
Well, we're always busy. Always have things to do, and the players are always working hard, staying fit. We're now in the middle of our spring soccer season, which is just an exhibition season. We don't practice as much as we do in the fall, and we also don't have as many games as we do in the fall,
Sure.
but we're allowed 5 dates to play games. And we actually had a game scheduled in March. It got snowed out, actually.
Imagine that.
And now we start April, and we have games every weekend in April.
Okay, so it is, I think people are familiar with, for instance, spring football practice. Is it
Right.
similar to that?
Very similar, very similar. We have a few more dates where we can play. American football just plays against each other, I think, on their spring date where we get to play outside competition.
Right, and who have you played, who have you scheduled, and how's that gone?
We were actually going to play Columbia College. It got snowed out on the women's side. And then on the women's side, we just played Benedictine. We're going to play Avila on April 14th. On April 21st, we will play against FC Kansas City Reserves, the new women's professional team in Kansas City.
Right.
And then we'll have our alumni game after that. On the men's side, we were going to play Drury and Missouri State. It got snowed out.
Sure.
And then we played Graceland. We just played Graceland. We will play Avila. Then we'll go to UMKC to play a lot of schools in Kansas City, including UMKC. I think it's UMKC, Benedictine, Mid-American Nazarene. And then we'll have our alumni game.
Well, let's talk about this weekend's game. Let's start with the women, and for people that don't know, your twin brother Lincoln coaches at Benedictine. And is that a bloodbath, even in the anything like
No.
that? Is it competitive, or how does it work?
You know, back when we were both, when William Jewell was an NAIA school and Benedictine was an NAIA school, it was really a game that I don't think either one of us, we enjoyed it, but it wasn't a game as much because you kind of, whoever got the lesser of it, it kind of felt bad for the other guy, maybe a little bit as well. And this past game, in a spring game, everyone's going to play, and it's going to be a good game. And they are, we actually had mirror seasons to each other. We're in Division II, they were in NAI, and both our teams made national tournaments and did really well. So we knew we were going to have a good game, and it wasn't as bad because in a spring game.
Right. 4-1 the win for you guys, though. Who played well?
Everyone really played well. Everyone played well. I think we had 20 players playing in the game, and everyone got a lot of minutes, and it was really good. We had goals from Olivia Dykes, Mackenzie Kellogg, Sarah Franklin, and Leah Maxwell all scored goals. So it's a good day, and got a shutout. I'm sorry, they did get a goal. They got a goal late. I'm sorry.
Okay. How about on the men's side? 1-0 win over Graceland, I believe, on Sunday.
Another good performance. We actually started 6 freshmen and 1 redshirt freshman in both halves against Graceland. So really 7 freshmen starting each half, and played really well. We lost on the women's side. We lost 3 seniors, all of which were starters. On the men's side, we lost 8 seniors, 6 of which were starters. So we had a lot of a new blood really playing in the game against Graceland, and I thought they played very well, performed well.
At this time of year in the spring, do you have a chance during matches to experiment, try people different positions, that kind of stuff? Tell us a little bit about that, if you would.
Well, you have a game plan going in, almost more so. You really more so than you have in as far as playing time and who's going to play where and when. In the spring, you can almost map it out, which players are going to go in, so everyone gets the experience. We had Spencer Bush, who's a freshman, for us play left wing in the first half, and I told him, you're going to play up top. In the second half, we're going to see you as a striker, and then he ended up scoring the goal.
Okay.
Whereas, you don't go into a regular season game saying, oh yeah, you're going to play this many minutes at this position, this many minutes at the other. You play and see how the game, where it takes you. So it was very good, and we had some players playing different positions and playing a lot more minutes than they're used to, and the guys really responded well.
Sarah Franklin going to play a little defense here in the spring, you think?
She could do a good job. She'd do a good job.
I'm sure
if
she
did.
could.
But right now, that's not in the plans. But
you never know.
But she could. She'd do a good job of it if she needed to.
She is going to be, for her senior year, obviously very noticeable for other teams. Does she take any preparation? Is she doing anything different preparing for her senior year?
Frankie just works really hard in becoming a better player all the time. And we have a lot of good players on the team. Everyone always will game plan to try and stop Frankie. But, we have a lot of other very good players on our team as well. So that we've got a lot of players they have to game plan for. So that's a good thing.
A new assistant coach this year for the Cardinals in soccer. Tell us about your new assistant, please.
Michael Clayton. He joined us about 3 weeks ago. Josh Howard, who was our assistant coach for the past 2 years, who did a very good job, is now the varsity head coach at Oak Park High School, has a teaching job, and is the girls varsity coach there. Michael Clayton replaces Josh, being the assistant coach for both the men's and women's team. I've known Michael for a while. I actually coached him in club soccer as a youth player. He was a very, very good player. Ironically, he went to Oak Park High School, where Josh Howard is now coaching. But Michael is a very good player, has a very good mind for the game, very good work ethic, sees talent very well, good communicator. He's going to be an excellent addition. He is an excellent addition to the staff and is already doing really good work.
Jefferson Robley, thank you for joining us here on Inside the Cardinal Playbook, and we'll be back with more in a moment.
I'm going to change the world. I've got computers, I've got financing, I've got clients. I've got a business plan. I have VC money. I've got a game-changing idea. I've given myself room to grow. We're dangerous. Very dangerous. This is only the beginning. I'm going to own the future. There's just one problem. I don't know how to print this.
Professional printing
Help?
and everything else a small business needs now at the UPS Store.
I love logistics.
Sometimes happy marriages fall apart, and divorce is the only way out. At a time like this, you need an attorney who will listen to you and will work for you. I'm Stephanie Shutt, and I understand that divorce can be hard for anyone, and I know the importance of a fair settlement. The decisions that are made now will affect the future happiness and well-being of you and your family. At Costello and Farah, we will fight for you. Call or visit 505-HELP and let me help you.
And that's Inside the Cardinal Playbook for this week, sponsored by the UPS Store at 5510 Northeast Antioch in North Kansas City. Our thanks to Dustin Combs, Mike Stockton, and Jefferson Robley for visiting with us. We'll be back next week inside the Cardinal Playbook.